So I was at a funeral a few weeks back, and one of the relatives at the funeral was talking about the person who passed away, and something really caught my attention in that speech. Um, Maybe that relative had heard that thing somewhere, or maybe they had read it somewhere. So basically, what he was talking about is that as we leave the earth, uh, we have these two dates: our birth date, the day we were born, and our death date, the day we leave this earth. And there's this dash in between. And it's the most interesting thing that everything that happens in our life is part of that dash. It just struck a chord with me. Like it's so interesting that once we leave this earth, it's just the first date and the last date. You were born in 1975 and you left this earth to 2024. And then what happened in that dash? So the only thing that I could think about, or really, you know, put my mind to, was let's rearrange that dash for us. Like, it's so important what's going on in that dash. Um, you know, you're living, you're being a wife, you're being a mother, you're being this human that you want to do all these things. But as we leave, it's gone. So I guess the most important thing is to rearrange our dash. How the dash will be for you. That's the most important time on this earth. So, anyways, at this point of time in my life, I'm trying to work on my dash, how I want to live my life, what I want to do as as life goes on. I'm 50 plus now. I'm at a different stage in my life where uh, I'm an empty nester, and trying to figure out what's the next thing. Work is always going to stay in our lives. Work is never ending. It's always going to be there. Uh, but is that what we all want to be doing? Although that's very important, but we have to find time for ourselves. We have to look for something more, something more interesting, some purpose, some something deeper that we are looking for. Um, so that's where I am looking for, that something deeper in my life, and exploring. Um, exploring comes from traveling different countries, different places, to understand different cultures and how people are living their lives, because we all live, sometimes just live in our little cocoon, and don't understand what's happening outside of our cocoon. And so the most important thing at this point is to see what you're wanting, what you want to do. And like I loved the word that person had used, rearrange your life. So I guess rearranging is the key here, rearranging to what you want to do and how you want to do it. Travel has always been one of the most important things in our lives as a family. I have two boys. They're grown up now, but even when they were younger, the we as a family loved to travel, experience things together, because it just brings the family together, and you can you can figure out what's going on in their brains, and how they look at different things in this world. Um, but as we grew older, as the boys grew older, and I became an empty nester. Actually, these days they call it bird launcher. So I'm going to call myself a bird launcher. So my two birds have been launched in this world. They are My boys are 24 and 22, and they both work. Um, it's it's interesting that as they started building their own lives and doing their own things, the time that when they came back home was more for their friends, for their high school buddies and all of that. And sometimes the quality time with just the parents became less. So I guess early on, as my kids started going to college, I made a rule that no matter what, once during summer and once during winter, fall holidays, we will travel together. And what I learned is that travel together means just the four of us, where other families or other friends are not traveling with us. Because usually when the kids are younger, it becomes a thing that few families travel together because that's the best thing for the kids. They have company and they're enjoying themselves. But as they were growing up, it was more important for me to have a connection with them. And I thought that one-on-one connection as humans whom they are becoming, what they are going to be as grown-up men, is so important for me, and to exchange those ideas with them on. So individual, I won't call it individual, actually family travel, just the four of us, my husband, myself, and both our boys, was very important. And the result was I thought that was one of the best things. What they were, you have to, you have to have breakfast together, dinner together, lunch together. There's no choice. You're eating together. You're doing activities together. You are so there's a lot of exchange of thoughts happening during that time. And I thought I'm getting a very beautiful insight into their minds as as we are traveling together and getting to know the world and their thoughts on different ideas. So it became a beautiful idea, and I just would like to share that because a lot of the parents can incorporate that as kids become very independent and start living their own lives and want to spend their own time with their own friends. They have their travels planned already through the year with their friends and with their work situations. So I guess this became one of the important things in our life, and we've been doing it for almost 4 years now. And what I have learned personally, and then I feel it kind of, you read different things, and that's what it kind of reiterates the fact that it just opens your mind. It just makes you a different human, where you are understanding a bigger picture, a bigger aspect of life, and not just doing your everyday chores. Um, a little advice on this. I know we all go travel and then we are so gung ho on, okay, go from, you have to hit this place, you have to hit this place, this place. Those are important too. But doing that, sometimes you miss on the place, the culture. You're just hitting the main highlights, and you're forgetting. Let's say you go to Italy, or let's say you go to, even here in Utah, or in the States, to Utah or New Orleans. You you have to sit and see what's happening around you to actually figure it out. And it opens, like I said, it's just been phenomenal for me to learn and to grow as a human and to become a wiser person, understand emotions, understand feelings, how people operate in this world, and why we all sometimes get caught up in this our small little space, and don't think about what's actually happening in a bigger space. So that's been just widening your sphere and learning more. I'm an Indian, and Punjabi Sikh Indian, and just going back to India, like we all travel to meet our family, and sometimes we forget to find few days to travel to another state in India, and just see what's actually happening, and what's going on, the way the culture is changing, and what's the new way of doing things. It's a very interesting topic. And when we all women, I have a great girl tribe. Um, my friends, all girls, all women need a girl tribe. Like, few years back, it was not considered, it wasn't talked about that much, but since about 10, 15 years, it's been one of the most important topics. But I think everyone needs a tribe of women or friends who are going to be, your support group, and doing, just supporting you and bringing you up. Uh, and as a woman, A woman is a daughter. Then she's a daughter, she's a sister, she's those are the important steps as we go through. Then she becomes a wife, she becomes a daughter-in-law, and then a mom. And I guess for me as a human, as a woman, the most important, the most fulfilling thing was once I had my kids. I think a mother is so such an important job that I had. Uh, you know, um, I don't get me wrong. I'm a entrepreneur. I've worked in the corporate sector. I've done all of that, but still, the most satisfaction that I got was as a woman, was as a mom. Um, and so, interesting thing is that we go through all of these things, and a woman is carrying all of these relationships and trying to go through them and uh, curve through these different things to be not just successful at work, but be a good person. Be so it's just, I don't know if I'm articulating myself well here right now, but what I'm saying is it's a journey. It's a journey from where you start as a daughter, and where you are as you grow up and become this individual who's 50 something, and how things roll through it. Now I'm becoming a very different human, where I actually sit back and look. And I guess that's why I'm here on this platform. Like, we all make mistakes. I made mistakes. I feel that I should have changed certain things or done certain things differently as I was going through life. But here I am. Let's talk about Girl Tribe. I I have always been a firm believer of having a girl tribe around you. Your group of friends who boost your morale, who are a sounding board for you. They lift you up. They're always there for a quick chat, where if you're feeling down, or if you're not, your mood is not upbeat. You give a quick chat, and they kind of respond to you, and are there as your inner circle. For me, personally, I'm very lucky. I have two sisters, which are my innermost circle. We share things, we discuss things, we argue, we disagree on things, we become really heated in our arguments if something is not right. But you know that is the truth circle. That's the circle. That's your sounding board. That's giving you that feedback on what you're thinking, or what your major thoughts are, and whether that's the right process you're following, or the right next steps you're looking at. So that's the start, the inner circle. It could be anybody. For me, that's my sisters, but I have a bunch of other girlfriends. For them, they're besties. They're somebody who's your inner circle. As I have rolled through life, what I've seen is it's not just that the girls need that. Actually, men need that too. They need somebody as a sounding board. Somebody whom they can chat with and talk to, and they can get some truthful responses on things. But I won't be able to comment on the male side of the things. But me being a woman and going through my life, I can understand, and being with my girlfriends, how this is so positive, and how this is an uplifting act in women's lives. For me, I think then there is this innermost circle, and then I have friends which are all different groups of people that I'm girlfriends, that I'm friends with, and each gives me something. The purpose that they fulfill in my life is different, and the learning that comes when you interact, chat with different people, what their viewpoint is on something, and what they think about that issue or a problem, kind of gives you an insight. It opens up your mind to, oh, maybe that's another thought process on it. I was just thinking on this one tangent, and maybe this is another tangent to it. So knowing what I know about myself and what I'm learning as I'm growing as a human, as a woman, is that you need these circles around you where these circles are providing, the innermost circle is providing you that safety net, and then the outer circles of friends, of girls around you are fulfilling some purpose in your life. They're bringing some positive thoughts, they're bringing some the learnings that you get from chatting with them, and being in their presence and knowing their thoughts on things. So I guess Girl Tribe is something that's super important for me as an individual. And if I have to give anybody an advice, look for your tribe. And the tribe comes, the threads kind of meet with the universe, like organically it happens. You get attracted to some people because there's something common. There is something that's pulling you towards that individual, and that's how the circle becomes your safe circle. And organically let it happen and get into those positive places where people who are around you are supporting you, are uplifting you, are making you a happier soul. And so that's it, all for Girl Tribe. So you've probably heard me say before, I am an empty nester. And you've heard this phrase very often, probably, and it's a phrase being used in social media and everybody as being an empty nester. And recently I came across people talking about another phrase called bird launching, and it just intrigued me so much, and I kind of love that phrase better than empty nester. It's a positive phrase. You're launching your birds. You're not like empty nesting. It's a positive thought and not a negative connotation to it. And this whole concept, as kids grow up, they move on to their own journeys. They move on towards their lives, and they usually hear as soon as their high school is done, they're going to college, and they are moving on. After college, most of the kids find their jobs, and their journeys start as a serving citizen in our communities. So they move on. They live the lives that they are looking for. They live in different cities depending on where the job takes them and how they move around. Now there's a positive way of looking at it, and rather than a negative way, I would go a positive way. As a parent, just think about it. How proud of a moment is that you have made, the child is comfortable to move out of the house, the safety of the house, your nest, and be this human, this individual who's going to tag on to their own lives and catch on to their own journeys and start moving on their journey. So I look at it in a very, very positive way. And so, and another thought on this is, children were given to us. They were not meant to be with us all the time. It was, God gave us this gift to nurture and let them grow, and then let them fly. And so it's a very positive space that people should think about it. A lot of, especially women, start thinking about it. Oh, I'm an empty nester, what's the next thing? Yes, we all have to think what the next thing is. But it's a very positive thing. You guys have done, as parents, you did your job right. That the child is safe, comfortable, moving on to the next step in his life. And now, as individuals, as moms and dads, we sit back, we look at them and see their journeys, their struggles, their problems. They're dealing with things, and they answer their own situations. And definitely we are there to give our inputs, our help, but let them deal with the life and move on and see. And I promise we all did our job right as a parent. And we, at least as parents, we all try our best, and let them soar. Just sit back and look what the next thing is going to be, how they are flying. Let them be these eagles who soar up, and you just look at their flight. As I'm moving through life, or where I am right now, as I've talked before, over 50 plus, and going through the life at this point of time, appreciate your life with grace, whatever it is now. Uh, every every point of time in our life has a meaning. Every season, the fall, the winter, the summer of our lives, whatever we've lived, 50 years by now, 55 years, or even you've lived 30 years, every minute or every season, I'm calling different parts of your life, different situations in your life as seasons. Every season has a meaning. You go through these things to become this human that you are today. And hopefully, as we are all rolling through life, we are evolving, we are becoming better humans, we are becoming wiser people. We are accumulating more knowledge, more thoughts, and we are getting to know ourselves better, who we are, what our purpose is. And I guess what I'm trying to articulate here is our seasons of life, each season, whether it was an up or a down, brings a positive thought towards us to become this human that we are today and now. To appreciate that with grace, to appreciate the ups and downs of being this individual that you're today, I guess is the most important thing. And I feel what I am today, which went through the mistakes of my life, the ups and downs, uh, the struggles, the hustle, um, to become this person that I'm a wiser person. What I was in my 30s was very different, and what I was in my 40s, I was like, okay, was very different. And now in my 50s, life is very different. So I guess what I'm trying to say is appreciate it with grace, what you are now. Now, as a woman, as an individual, who you have become. Be graceful about that. So I was listening to this meditative, motivational talk, and something just touched my heart and kind of touched the chord in my head. Um, everything, everything that's going on is living in our head. Like, if we are anxious about something, if we are upset about something, if I'm not liking something, and I'm basically talking about myself, how I deal with things and what happens. Certain things upset you, like you get like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Why did somebody say this? And all of that is right here in my brain, in my head. And how much does it matter? To Am I trying to surpass anything? Am I trying to conquer anything in this world? Am I trying to um, you know reach a different level? Yeah, maybe, but how much does it make for me? Is it a plus or minus? How much it's affecting my health, or my anxiousness, or my anxiety? So, what really struck with me with that conversation was, if I tell my head, my brain at that point of time, that I'm not going to think about it like that, I'm actually going to take 2 deep breaths, exhale, take a deep breath, and rethink that process. Rethink, like, what is the max that's happening with that? What kind of is it? Is it is that anxiety and anxiousness going to spoil everything for you? So might as well take 2 deep breaths, make a decision not to think about it the way it should be thought about, and then change your thought on it. Listening to that and practicing that in the past, I would say almost 3, 4 months, 5 months. it's changed the game for me. When I take two deep breaths, I tell myself I'm not going to think about it like that. And poof, I feel I'm already feeling better and it's gone. And so just sharing that that thing has really worked for me, uh, where I change the thought process on it and think about it in a different way after taking a few deep breaths, and my issues, my anxiety, my thought on something which was making a spiral in my head goes away. So I guess it's our minds. We really got to focus on what our minds are thinking and take them towards the positive side of it. So I was reading the other day, and something just again caught my attention. And I on this platform, I like to share what's connecting with me and what I'm thinking about it, and if it can be of help to anybody, or if somebody can connect with that. So I guess the thing was pursue you, and what the whole thought about it was, which I felt it was the universe's sign to me to figure out where you are. So what it was saying was that if you are at crossroads in your life where there is a change happening, and talking to women, chatting with them, you feel sometimes change comes for people at 40s, sometimes change comes for people at 50s. You've been doing certain things certain way, and suddenly you feel that you want a little change, you want to change up your game a little bit. So and if you're not sure which way you want to go right now, so basically you're kind of at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out, like, what is the purpose? Why are you here? Why have you been put on this earth, and what's the next in your life? um, if you're still in that crossroads level, still confused, then pursue you. Make yourself a better human. Focus on your health, focus on your mental well being, focus on so basically, you're pursuing yourself. If you feel you want to travel, if you feel you want to, you know, do better for yourself, go exercise better. If doing more work helps you, whatever makes you feel better, pursue yourself as an individual. And then suddenly you will find your purpose. You will figure out where you are headed towards and what's going to be the next thing in your life. Um, in fact, it just reminded me. I was just listening to that recent talk with Gail and Oprah and Melinda Gates, and that's what they were talking about in that. The whispers that come to you in your life are so important. Heed to those whispers, and those whispers will come as you're working on yourself, healing yourself. So I guess the key point here is pursue you. If you're still in that dilemma where you are, so just pursue yourself for now. As women, our inherent nature is nurturing, to take care of things, and just to take care of everything around you. And growing up as an Indian girl, our culture, our traditions, our social influences, everything points out that you got to take care of everything around you. In your maternal home, you grow up, but you're supposed to take care of your parents, your siblings, nurture them. And as you grow up, you go into your married home, and you got to take care of your in-laws, your husband, extended families. It's just entrenched in our Indian culture. And actually, if you think about it, not just Indian culture, generally it's a woman trait to take care of things, just to nurture everything. And then arrive our kids in our lives, and we become these involved moms, where we are taking care of kids. And although these days dads are a big part of taking care of the littles, they are it's changing over the years, and dads are kind of 50% right in there helping out. But still, moms become these prime caregivers. Moms are the go-to people for the kids, and they are the last resort. So kids come up to moms, and so what I'm trying to get to is that it's such an involving process, which kind of runs about 18 to 20 years of our lives, where we are involved thoroughly in bringing up our offsprings, our kids, our loves of our lives. And then suddenly we become empty nesters. The kids are on their own. And as women, as individuals, we kind of forget that how we have to take care of ourselves, because all these years you've been actually taking care of other folks. So this is where the change happens. The self-care comes in. And I think there's not enough talk happening these days that how to actually go back to self-care. And don't get me wrong, self-care does not mean going out, getting our nails done, going out, getting some, facials done, the superficial stuff. Self-care is what you are, what you feel you want to be, or what your inherent nature is, or how you're helping your soul. So because we all forget over the years that we've done in 18, 20 years taking care of others, now come back to it. Get more involved in yourself, in your thoughts, and come back to self care. Nurture yourself. All these years, you doted on kids, family, and now try to dote on yourself. Try to bring more to you, and find hobbies, find find more purposeful things, volunteer, doing all these things which makes you happy. And that's how the self-care starts. We will delve into it as we go on into this topic more and more. But I guess the start is that start thinking about yourself, nurture yourself, dote on you as an individual. Trying to touch the topic of signs from our universe, our immense, beautiful universe that we all live in, which we are a tiny little baby part of. But this universe, this energy that's all around us, gives us these signs. And the key that we are trying to address is today is the signs that come, how you can be open to listening them, and how you would it's easier, what are the ways that it's an easier way of listening to those signs. Growing up, I was always spiritually inclined, maybe because our household was like that, both my parents were like that. And as I grew up as an individual, I understood myself that spirituality, the calm that I get through putting myself, in a better space and equilibrium, is it helps me to be more calm and spiritually inclined. So that was my happy space. That was my learning as I got to know myself. Um, my mother, she left us in her early 50s. She left this planet very early. My sweet mom, I used to call her Mama. It's been more than 25 years, but it seems like it just happened. It never changes. And I think that's when my spirituality and my thought process about the signs of the universe kind of inclined more. Every time there is something that happens in your personal life that kind of opens you up to this process of listening to the universe. Like I said, it's been more than 25 years, but I feel her around. I see the signs that she's around. She's taking care of things. It could totally be the thought process that I have. But as we learn deeper about spirituality and things, it tells you that the energy is the same. The soul is moving through this energy, through this universe. So now the next thing that I started thinking more was how to open yourself up to see the signs. And I will just share what works for me. And if it resonates with you, you can use it too. I think just calming your brain and getting all the distractions away. It could mean you are you are trying to meditate for 5 7 minutes, sitting quietly. You're putting all the distractions away, especially the phones and the other social media stuff that we all get distracted from. Put that away. Get yourself more calmed and centered, and then just think. Put out your queries, put out your questions into this universe. There is that upper being who I everybody has, whoever you follow or whoever you think you look up to. Just put it out to that universe, to that upper being, the person sitting up there, and you will get the answers. So I guess all we are going to touch today in this segment, which we will talk more, how we can get open ourselves to receive those signs as we move through these segments. But you got to calm yourself, get the distractions away, and then wait and see. And the universe gives you those signs. It's a proven fact, you scientifically, it's proven that the whole universe is moving in that same energy. And that's where the signs come from. So I guess wait for your signs from the universe. So I guess today we are chatting about giving back, service to the community. I usually try to bring in these segments what has worked for me, or what I feel has worked for people around me, and what how it can help anybody else. Sharing my own experiences about these things. So giving back, there are lots of ways of giving back, but what a lot of folks feel that monetary ways of giving back, giving charity to the causes that you are part of or you would like to be part of, is one of the ways. Nothing against it, but I'm a firm believer of actually donating your time, actually volunteering for something that you like to do or you want to be engaged with. It could be two different things. Um, in our religion, I'm a practicing Sikh. In our religion, seva, service, we call it seva, which means service. Any kind of service that you can provide to your community, to your neighbors, to your churches, to your temples, in form of volunteering yourself and giving back, is what brings the deeper happiness to your soul. And my personal experience has been, I'm involved in about 4 different nonprofits here in my community. These are the communities we all live in. This is where we bring up our kids and we get involved in them. So this is where we are making our livings. We are running our businesses, work. So it just makes total sense to give back into those communities that's given you all of this. And like I just said, I work with about 4 different nonprofits here in the area. And what I've seen being part of those nonprofits and the people who volunteer their time on these organizations, not just it's the result that they get back from volunteering their time is multifold. The happiness that comes to you by the deeper sense of relief and helping somebody else comes to you in multifold. You might be donating a little bit of your volunteer time, but what it's going to give back is multifold. Try it out and see. It could be, if let's say you're interested in gardening, just help your local kitchen garden, or just your neighbor, help him with his gardening. If your interest is in arts, go volunteer in an arts program somewhere around you. And the biggest thing is, if you have little kids, I've heard from people, oh, I don't have any time to give back, to volunteer. Little small thing, if you have little kids, your lives are so busy, it's so much happening in your life, just go volunteer in their school. You will be amazed at how much help the teachers need around the school with the kids. Some kids need some help with extra reading help or something around the school. So the key point here, what I'm trying to get to is, try it out. Try out volunteering your time with something that you are interested in, and see what brings it back to you. I personal experience, I guarantee you the happiness that comes back would be multifold. So, we're going to touch on this topic of empty nesting again today. Um, so many people, so many of you have connected back with me on, um, you know, chatting more about empty nesting. Everyone goes through it in a different way. And don't get me wrong at all, it's not easy. It's everyone feels the pain differently, or some people feel the freedom differently. It's totally different for every woman, every parent, um, every man. It's just different how you feel about it. So I guess what I'm going to spend a tad bit of time on is, first, give it a positive connotation. It's happened. They've grown up. They've flown away, and like I keep calling it vehemently, it's bird launching. Don't call it empty nesting. And they have done. That's what we wanted them to do. We wanted them to grow up to be these humans, these individuals who are living their own lives and trying to do what they're trying to do. Coming back to you as a mother, as a parent feeling the empty nesting feeling, what are you doing about it? What are you trying to change in yourself while you're going through this? uh, Agreed, it's not easy. Agreed, it's very difficult to deal with it. But that's the transition period for you. How are you going to change your life? What is the transition you're bringing? Are you just sitting down and being sad about it and just, you know, oh, having your blanket and sitting and watching TV? Or are you thinking, I have found this new free time on my hands. What should I do with it? So, as in my segments, I keep talking about doing things for yourself. So, all we're trying to do today, chatting about, is the transition that should start happening ASAP in your life. Um, Start thinking about yourself, what you want to do, where you want to move forward to. You want to pursue some hobby that you were thinking for the longest time. What is your actual need? You want to travel more, you want to spend more time with your friends. What exactly it is that you want to do with that newfound time after empty nesting, and start on it. The biggest thing is that first small step. And there's nothing big that you have to take. Take that little baby step today. Let's work on it. Let's get to something that you want to do. Because sitting around and being sad or depressed about is not going to get us anywhere. So I guess let's get up, let's get going, and get to the next step that we can do with our newfound time after empty nesting. Another deeper thing that I've been experiencing recently, and I thought I'll just share with you, is, um, you know, we're on social media, we're on our phones all the time, and we listen to all of these products. Oh, skincare, put this cream, put that cream, you know, makeup, this and that, to make yourself, um, your skin better, your how you look better. Nothing against it. It's all great. It's all nice and dandy, and it should be done. But here's my 2 cents on it. When you actually take care of your soul care, and not just skin care, your light, your aura, your happiness that comes from within is so much more. When people ask you, your friends, oh, what are you doing these days? Did you do something? You look different. So the only thing that's changed in my life would be that I am trying to take the toxicity out and trying to put some good stuff, positive thoughts, positive things into our lives. So try it out, check it out, and see. Uh, you know, uh, what works well for you, what you can do to kind of feed your soul, heal yourself, make become a better person. And as you do that, the inner soul becomes freer and lighter. And as you get there, your light physically, when you're present in somebody's presence, becomes so much more visible to other people. And I guess that's what the key point tonight is. And the rituals that make you get into that positive thought process. Could be anything. If I have to share mine, I would say just reading a good book, sitting down with a warm cup of coffee or tea, and enjoying that. Going out for a walk every morning, doing some yoga practice, doing, just grounding yourself, just touching your feet to the ground. Any of these activities might just make you a more soul happy person. And as you become a soul happy person, skincare becomes second, soul care becomes first. And see how people or anybody would can see your light. So today we're going to chat a little bit about the influence of friends. I think I have addressed this topic a couple times, and then I got some questions on it, and I thought let's delve deeper into this. Um, it's very important to whom you are with. They say if you fly with the eagles, you will soar. That's a saying, and I totally believe in it. The folks that you're going to hang out, your habits and their habits are going to become very similar. So you got to be very thoughtful about the people that you're spending your time with. I mean, we keep hearing the 5 people that you're with, but if you delve a little bit deeper into this topic, let's say what kind of friends, what kind of buddies, what has worked for me, as a human, as an individual, as a woman, is that I kind of put folks in my friend circle and my group in a certain areas. Like, let's say my 5 kinds of friends you kind of need to be moving towards the positive side, to developing yourself better. There's first friend is your fitness buddy that inspires you all the time to stay active, to stay healthy. The second person is your realist buddy, uh, who keeps it real. You might be thinking of something, and then when you bring it up to that realist buddy of yours, they're going to tell you, come on, like that just doesn't make sense. Think about something different. And then the third person is your listener buddy, who gives you space to talk, to chat, to vent. And you need all these kinds of buddies in your life. Then you have the cheerleading buddy, who believes in you all the time and is going to be behind you, supporting you. You doing something, they're going to be gung ho and cheering you up. And then you have buds who are your day one bud. They've been with you from the very beginning when you started off. They could be your school buddies, your college buddies, who are there, who love you, and they're always going to be there. And you part of their lives, they're part of your lives. So I feel these people influence your life a lot, and these folks have to be there for you to become this individual, this wholesome person that you can move on with your life and be in a better place. Um, as we've all talked about, your company has such a huge impact on how your brain health is. If you're with the right people, your brain health always remains in a positive mindset. You're happier. As you're happier, you bring happiness to your home, to your family, to your work, to everything that you do in your life. So pay attention to these things. You will develop into a better human if you're paying attention to the influence of your friends in your life. So every day and all day, I guess, everybody is chatting these days about personal growth. It's a very wide topic. We will kind of talk about it in few points, and let's see if that works for you. I usually talk about topics and things that have worked for me, for people around me, or what I feel is an easier way to approach these things. First of all, for yourself, personal growth, give it a minute. Sit down, think about it. What does personal growth mean for you? Um, who you are, what you want to do, and what is personal growth for you? After you give it a thought, then dive into it. Then go for it and see what it means for you. For me, from what's worked for me, my 2 cents on personal growth. Your everyday activities that you do should include few of the things. I feel that has worked for me, and I'm just going to share that. One should be your physical activity for the day. Like, are you walking? Are you doing yoga? Are you going for a pickleball game on the weekend, or badminton or something? So that's the physical activity of that day for personal growth. Second is what kind of mental activity you're doing that day. Are you reading? Are you listening to a podcast? Have you put your mind towards it? Like how you are mentally activating your mind a little bit more. The third thing in everybody's life, or what's very important, is the spirituality. Like, what are you doing to being more grounded, to being more spiritual in your life for that day, for personal growth? It could be activities like praying, meditating, just sitting down. So that becomes your spiritual activity for the day. The fourth is the accountability. Like, you got to be accountable whatever you're doing during the day or how you spent your 24 hours. If we don't put ourselves accountable to how things are going in our life, then what's the point? At least that's how I think. So I guess accountability comes from journaling, or just spending maybe 10 minutes before you going to bed thinking about how the day went, what you did not like, what you liked, and what would you like to change the next day. And the fifth activity that should be part of your day is some kind of relaxing. For some folks, it's sitting down and mindlessly watching some TV. That's fine. That's your relaxing activity. It works. For me, I would like to sit down and just have a hot cup of tea, or I would like to put my feet in warm water, and that relaxes my mind. And that's the fifth activity that you might want to put your mind into it. So I guess for personal growth, different things. You got to take a minute, think about it, what works for you, incorporate that in your everyday activities. Pay attention to the control that you are thinking about and putting your brain time into. What are you talking to people about? Which situations are you putting yourself in? All of these things don't be on autopilot all the time. Be very mindful of where your mind is, the things that your mind is working on. So I guess be present and see how these things change you in the next 30 days. Try it out for 30 days and see how personal growth happens if you are putting time into these 5 activities. So recently, I came across a talk between Drew Barrymore and Matthew. I don't know where I heard that talk, and I simply loved it. I really liked the concept behind that talk. It was all about loving yourself. But let me get to it, how Matthew was trying to put it across, and I just understood it so much better how he was talking about it. What they're saying is, let's say, beginning of your life, you were told that this is one person that you have to take care of, and this is your job, and you got to be very careful how you're going to take care of this one person, and that one person is you. You've been told that take care of yourself, who you are, what you're doing, how you're thinking. Love yourself. It's not about what you're achieving, where you are going to. It's only just who you are as a human, as a person. Just love yourself. Most of us don't pay attention to it. We are so lost in what's going on around us. In our daily activities, you get up, you go to work, you finish the day, come back, get dinner ready, get things on the table, finish off the day, and you're done. But are you paying attention to, are you loving yourself? Are you giving yourself some time to see that, are you in a happy place? Are you actually putting yourself in toxic situations and not paying attention to it? So most of us do not realize that our job is just to take care of ourselves. Yeah, we as women, I usually address every I mostly talk about women because I know how I go through life, and it's a personal experience. So as women, as wives, as mothers, as working women, we have tons of tasks to finish during the day, and by the time the evening is coming. But there is always a few minutes that you can take for yourself to love yourself. It could make a activity, make little thing in your life to pay attention to yourself. Like, you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, what will you do today to take care of you as a person? Are you going to go for a walk? Are you going to spend some time with your friends today? It could even be time with family. Even that sometimes gives you this happiness that you really enjoy. So don't look outside for help. Empower yourself to love you. Nobody else is going to come out to help you to be a better, to put your mood into a better situation. We should not be looking outside, we should be looking inside. How am I going to take care of myself to put myself in a better mood? So I guess the key point here is, take a minute, do something for yourself, love yourself. Don't put yourself down saying, oh, I did not achieve this today, I could not finish this task today. Tell yourself, I actually finished this. How nice is that? How good is that? And I can move on to the next things tomorrow. Put focus on yourself. You will become a better person, you will be in a better mood, and thus you will take care of your family, your friends, your work situations in a better way. Prioritize your family and prioritize your family time. In our day to day lives, we sometimes forget that you're replaceable. You're replaceable at work. Let's say you die tomorrow, a new person will be hired within few weeks, and you'll be forgotten soon. But you're not replaceable at home. Family means everything. They will always miss you if you're not around. So I guess that's what the point of this discussion today is. Making your priorities straight. You as a person mean everything to your family. The reality is, we all are headed in the same direction. We all are headed towards our death, one day at a time. Don't get me wrong, it's not a sad topic to talk about, or it's not a negative connotation to it, but it's the reality. We all know it. We have a thing set which we don't know when we'll be gone from this earth, and we are all moving day by day towards that. So the key point here is, use that time to figure out where you are putting your effort and time into. Is it towards family? Is it towards friends? What's making you more happy? The reality is, don't wait. Let's say somebody told you that you won't make it for dinner tonight at home. What would you do? What would be your first call? Whom would you text? What would be your thoughts that you should have gone travel somewhere? So, and don't get me wrong, there'll be, in this huge wide world, there'll be thousands of people who won't get for dinner to their house tonight. So it's a very basic, real reality, and we should put time and effort into it, into thinking what we want to do. So basically, give your time to family. Anybody, any person who's done something really big in this world, and if you read their biographies or anything, um, the only one regret you ask them that they have from their life, they might be very famous, they might be doing very well, they have made the world a better place, but the only regret any person says at any point of time is that they should have spent some more time with their family. So I guess just having a learning from that, we should know that where the time is going, or where the time we are spending. We are all programmed to work. It's a program. Work till 65 years, and then we will retire, and then you will do the things that you like. No. I mean, if you think about it, who's promised 65 to you? And by that time, your body is giving up. You don't have the energy, or you have aches and pains and all of that. And you wanted to travel the world and you can't do it anymore. And another big thing, by that time, kids have moved on with their lives. They have their own homes and their own situations and their own families to take care of. So, the key point here is tonight, prioritize family today. Don't wait. Just your favorite sports team will not miss you if you're not watching that game. But if you don't go and watch your kids' tournament that day, that you will miss and you won't be able to go back to again. Plan for travel. Travel more. The learning, the experience, the understanding of the world that comes from traveling to a new place, new country, new state cannot be compared to anything. Traveling to new places has always been my passion. Both my kids know I will never say no to their travel plans. They come up with these ideas, Mom, this is what we are planning to do, and it's always a yes from me, because the kind of learning you get when you travel is just immense. As they were growing up, I always wanted them to experience new places. So our vacation plans always included once a year visiting family and once a year plan on exploring the new country or go to a new state, explore a new state, wherever it's kind of a different setup of things. So that's how we used to plan our vacations. As they grew up into teenagers, I would always be a yes for all exploring trips from school or any summer camps that they would want to go to with their age group kids or whatever the school was planning to take them to. All in all, I think I have always been a very pro travel person. And we will get into all the pluses that come with traveling. But as grown men now, they both prioritize travel and they keep funds aside to explore the world. So, like I said, key point is encourage travel not just for yourself, but for your loved ones too. Coming towards the research side of travel, there are tons of positives about travel. At least that's what I feel. That's how I feel about travel. You know, I'm passionate about traveling and exploring new places and new cities and new countries. Travel expands your perspectives, new cultures, new experiences, new landscape, different lifestyles. It broadens your worldwide view and improves empathy. Recently, I went to Turkey and was in Cappadocia. You can call it Cappadocia, you know. But the landscape of that place, the caves, and it just it just mesmerized me. So, you know, new learnings every time you go travel to a new place. It boosts your creativity and relationships. It gives you new ways of thinking and inspires you to do new things, different things, which you might have learned on your travels. Another big plus for this is it makes your relationships deeper with the person you travel with. An interesting fact, research shows that husband and wife relationship and the bond grows if you travel and explore the world together. Experiencing new things as a team creates lifelong memories. Example is like, oh, we walked on the Alaskan glacier together for the first time. Or we've been in Africa, it says, oh, we saw that big herd of zebras together for the first time. So it teaches us new things about each other. Your relationships grow deeper when you travel together and explore. It teaches us gratitude. Seeing different ways of life can deepen your appreciation for your own life and the privileges that we have. The whole world is not that privileged. All in all, plan travel, set money aside for unique experiences. God gave us this life. Let's explore, let's grow,